animations on your screen. It's not MP4 or GIF, it's fully interactive. Let's check it out. We can write some username, click on password, we see animation is changed, write some password, try to login. We get failure login, we have success state, we will see it later. And now another one, we can also write like this. We can write password, we can click show to change animation, and we can try to login. But here is without fail success animation, but still. Can you guess what's the difference between these two? I think you can guess, because it's literally writing on the screen. Today we're gonna speak about animation libraries for interactive state machines, and we're gonna compare Rive and Lottie. Lottie is not modern, but it's have features for modern development and interactive state machines from some years ago, and Rive that also specifically can create the animation like this with interactivity in state machine. So let's start. All the way for animations with JSON files. Now it's a bit old because it's way too much. You see 63 kilobytes, and it's take a lot of space. For example, this JSON file gonna look like this. It's a simple Lottie JSON file. New ways looks like this: books Lottie and login Teddy Rive. Yeah, for Lottie I don't have extension, but actually in VS Code we have same thing for Lottie. Let's do fast review on Rive and Lottie and check some examples about them and their repos. For example, in Rive we see that it's not as popular as Lottie. It's 1K stars in usually, yeah, and even smaller, but it have same compatibility with Flutter, React, etc. with all mobile devices. And if we check, yeah, Lottie is Airbnb a library, if somebody doesn't know, like JavaScript, but JavaScript it's not actually Airbnb at first, but now it's Airbnb in some ways. But okay. Lottie, a lot of stars here you see in Android, in iOS, etc. Yeah, Lottie have a lot of more popularity, but we don't check stars. We want to check actually what we need to use for some cases. So, for example, let's check cases of usage for Lottie and Rive. For example, oh jeez, it's like flashlight for me. For example, for Lottie, I think you new Duolingo app for learn English or some other language, like for learn a lot of languages and even chess, etc. now. So this Duolingo app use animations from Rive, if somebody doesn't know. They even have article about what is Rive and how they create their animated characters with Rive. Yeah, and the animated character is fully interactive with Rive, you see. You can read this if you find it by others link. Next, for Lottie files we have a lot of usages. Yeah, for Rive it's not all, of course, but it's a more popular one that I found. And for example, for Lottie we have a lot of also popular applications like Google Photos, Google Home, you see Google websites. Let's check another website, it's Google Mobile App Store. And for websites it's again Google AI and some no-name sites for me. Don't know, but anyway, Lottie used a lot of more websites than Rive, let's be honest. But we will check what's gonna be good for us. Now let's smoothly check their examples of Rive and Lottie editors, and we smoothly go further to our examples that we used in our application. First example like this on Rive. You see editor, even some sounds. Hierarchy, I think it's you know how to work with this if you work in Figma and other ones. It's always similar one, hierarchy of components. And in animation we can see animations for state machine, you see here, but we will check it later. Next, it's cool example on Rive solar system. I want to show you that you can even interact with drag and other, like Jupiter, it's 5 planet, yeah, for example, yeah, Saturn, etc. You see, you can even interact and drag something here. Next, Lottie animation. No, I don't know if it's have dark theme, but it's a pain. Lottie have animations like this. You see, it's not editor, actually it's some project example how it's gonna look. Pay attention that .lottie is only 7 kilobytes and Lottie.json is 73 kilobytes. It's what I want to show you, and it's gonna be same component. You see, it's what I talk about in the start of video, that Lottie now have components examples. Now we're finally here, we own our animations that we use in our application actually. It's for Lottie and Rive, Rive 1 and Lottie 1. Let's check examples. On Lottie I can say that I hate that it's not dark theme by default, and I'm not sure if they even have dark theme, but it's just my my personal, you know, negative. But okay. Let's check editor for Rive. I'm not gonna review full editor and how to work with this. I just want to show you that it's a bit of a similar, you know. Let's check. Here is login machine. Actually it means state machine, and it's in these states you can check all our current states. You see state for fail. We can check keyframes for fail. It's fail keyframes, it's success, and for every keyframe we have some link to actual component with keyframe. Yeah, I can change keyframes between itself, etc. Let's change something to see how it's gonna change. Let's just do some ice changes for beer. You need to go here, beer. I have some stupid jokes on my mind, but okay. Let's export this. Export your Rive file. We just replace our current public login teddy Rive component, and yeah, and it's already worked. You see now beer looks like this. Okay, yeah, you see it's work fast. You can just update it like this. And now let's go to Lottie. And it's again some flashlight. But in Lottie it's looks a bit, you know, simpler. And it's not plus simpler here. For example, we have same hierarchy, some background, etc. Some tools, but how you can turn off state machine for Lottie, because Lottie is actually position itself not like state machine, you know. It's more about animation that you can just like see that repeated itself by cycles. But we have interactivity, advanced feature here. If we click here, we can see states. It's our state machine for this Lottie editor. And in state machine here it's easy, it's just you see blink here. Here it's when we check by password or login, typing actual login. And we can just link it to use effect, you will see in code. Code is open source, by the way. Password, and when you check password you see not failure and success. Okay, for me, at least in in Rive we have dark theme, so decide by yourself. But Lottie looks a bit more simpler, you know. Let's go next. Last thing about Lottie editor is that we have possibility to add JSON URL link in a Lottie component, so we can just fully take it from a Lottie lab host. And actually I did this in my code, so we can see some difference between, you know, Lottie and Rive, even in these export methods. Okay, finally let's check code part. First, I can say that I already published it on GitHub, so it's fully open source, so I recommend you to download this and use it for yourself. It's just a really important recommendation, like do git clone or fork or some way, like just download zip file. Because I'm gonna do just a fast review of this code. I don't see a reason to write it from scratch. So we have this package.json with Rive app, React canvas, and Lottie React actually we don't need, how I understand it. We need only Lottie lab, Lottie player here. So this library is useless. And some default ones, like Rive React canvas to actually see this, and for Lottie it's Lottie player. You see it looks like we have two Rive and one Lottie, but I noticed one thing about Lottie player, about this library. It's take a lot of time to download. I don't know, maybe it's some problem with their library. Let me actually check their library. Well, it looks good. Unpacked size 7 megabyte. It's for library, it's okay. For this library with state machines, last published 10 months ago. It's in code. It's long time ago published, but looks good. I don't know why it's take too long to download. Maybe it's only on my personal computer. Let's start with Rive review. How sounds strange, but it is how it is. Breakpoint. Let's delete it. And in Rive we have one single component with Rive, and pay attention that we're gonna only use Rive and use state machine input. I'm gonna only check these two logic functional, because I don't see reason to talk with you about React states, etc. So we're gonna use Rive here, hook with Rive instance and Rive component, and our src file, pay attention that we have in a public. In this case, as our state machine name, it's login machine. How you remember, we have it in editor. It's important how you name it in your Rive editor. It's gonna be check it from there. So we have autoplay, it's because you see he by default he already start animation. And in Rive instance we have all this use state machine checks. Let me actually find it in our Rive editor. In our Rive editor, pay attention on this login machine naming. It's really important for you because you're gonna be name it same way here, login machine. And also, where can you find this instance? It's checking numlook. You can just check inputs here, and it's all instance here in inputs. You see, it's hidden by default. So you can add it like this from here, and this input's gonna be linked to some of animations. Next, we have this Rive instance. For use Rive, we use state machine input here. Use state machine input means, like you see, state machine input, state machine and input. It's like two ways here. So we use the state machine for example. Let's for example do it for hands up. It's when we do password check like this. So what's actually happened on password focus, we just add is hands up input, or on password blur. You see, it's just as easy as it is hands input. We create const and we add it like on past focus, and past focus, how we know we can just link it on focus here in React way. In Vue, I guess it's gonna be similar. So it's all for this Rive. It's easy and simple, not as how you think can be hard. It's just some links. It can do AI can do it easily if you just give AI all these inputs here. So no worries about this. Yeah, last thing, I just want to show you success state here. For success state, we just have some handle submit with password value teddy. Like we have it even in placeholder, like blah blah blah, and password and login. And it's success state, you see he smile. So it's another input for success handle submit. called like trigger success, and it's only happen on success. It's fire actually. Let's go on login Lottie. Lottie. Let's change to Lottie. For Lottie it looks like this. It looks almost similar functionality here. So let's check Lottie. For Lottie we just copy Lottie. Pay attention, we don't use hooks here. We just copy Lottie and we add this Lottie component here with src cdn, how you remember. Let's change to Lottie here also. And it's still open that I show you. It's another link because I did another test before for video, yeah. So it's don't have like problems with this. We have Lottie, we add this link. You have Lottie container, but it's just a container for like whitehead, so it's not important for this Lottie component. And we have important thing, it's animation ref. So for animation ref we use ref, and we can add animation ref for current interactivity go to state. It's all in this Lottie ref, like it's all inside Lottie component. You can ref to this interactivity, go to state, state duration, switch state. So in this way we just add animation ref. For use effect, I think you already understand what we do here. We use for switch state for following, for picking, covering. We add all this ref on handle blur with blinking, and animation ref for interactivity when we write password like this. You see we need to divide it by 32 to check all this way input. And if we don't add this math minimum 1, if we check on math minimum, you can see that in math minimum values we can use number for like restrict going further, because otherwise it's gonna go much further. You see, we're gonna just get another animation by default, like all keyframes from our actual keyframes here. So for Lottie we just use this switch state functionality, but of course you can do something different, not just like assign it to switch state, all this interactivity go to state. You can do it another way maybe, but I guess it's more simple and correct one to use these state animations. Like we just handle username on focus, similar to Rive. And when we handle username on focus, we just switch state to following, like, and the following state happen. Yeah, let I fix this first. State following, you see, we just click on handle username focus. We focus on password, and another state happen, like picking, covering. And here it's picking or covering, depend on our checkbox. So let's do fast compare of Rive and Lottie. I can say that like I hate one tool and love another one. You see, it's depend on the case where you work. Like maybe you already have Lottie for some like another animations with just some not interactive animations, so it's better for you to use Lottie. But if you need only animation like this, I guess Rive gonna be more good. Let's just do some comparison. For example, Rive editor written on Rust and WebAssembly, so you understand what it's mean. It's mean that it's compared by size, it's a lot of lighter than Lottie Lab. It sounds strange because Lottie looks, you know, smaller in functionality, but actually Rive it's more smooth one by engine. Next, in Rive we have some editors that have bond structure, like, you know, some Blender or Maya even, but in easy way, of course. But you can't work with 3D like Blender or Maya, not in Rive, not in Lottie Lab. Pay attention on this. Next, in Rive you have this structure, you see, where you can literally do flow for you. For some hard cases, I think you remember planets from beginner. It's gonna be more simple to create stuff like this with Rive. because in Lottie it's actually just some keyframes, a bit of simpler. So it's depend on what you need actually. For easy one, Lottie gonna be good. For hard one, I guess it's better to use Rive, because in Rive it's a lot of more ways to create bonds and other things. Let's do some summary. So what we can say about Lottie? Lottie it's animate and embed, and Rive it's more about interact and embed. So it's mostly like interaction first and playback first engines. But Lottie improved a lot in the last years, so maybe they even someday create engine like Rive with Rust and WebAssembly. We're gonna check the situation, and I'm gonna follow your blah 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 blah. You can check full source code in open source in description. I write all installation here, it's easy, or you can check even a live example here. And thank you for watching, let's go.